Yes, good evening, everyone. Once again, this is your soul brother Talib from Operation Exodus Mississippi Platform, aka Reality Temple on Earth platform, which is what it's well called, with our brother Angel Snup Snup 7. And shout outs to him and Sister Noble Levine and others who's on our platform as well. And shout out to those of you who will be listening to this video once it's posted in social media. And also too, I like to say that, well, it's not a rant, but it's just a basic general discussion that I'm going to give quickly in this video. But I just want to say that I made a video last night, called Why is Racial Separation Necessary? And you can find this video posted on my channel, which is Eric Bell YouTube channel, and also which is on Reality Temple on Earth's channel. And I got a rebuttal comment in the comment section of that video on my channel. And basically what the response to that was, of course, which was a rebuttal response, was that I should not be encouraging other dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America to leave. And basically the words were, since I want to leave, just go on and leave. Or that people who feel like I do should just go on and leave. Well, first of all, let me respond to that quickly before I move along. I never said anything about leaving in that video when I talked about separation. But if it's necessary that we must leave because we have no other choice but to make an escape route out of this repressive racist society called America, then so shall it be. And I will not stop encouraging other fellow dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America to leave in terms of making an escape route out of this racist country. Okay, I just want to get that straight off the back. If we have no other alternative, especially long as we keep rejecting the Mississippi campaign, which I said earlier, which is the platform I come from, on this stance of separation, then hey, that's what we got to do. Either we could do it that way or take the Mississippi campaign route by taking control of a state such as Mississippi to quarantine ourselves and to put some protection around us as a group of people from this racial onslaught that we have been suffering for almost the past 500 years since we've been in this country. Don't you think it's time that we remove ourselves from an oppressor who's never going to change his ways, who is showing over and over, many countless times that they're not going to change for the better when it comes to their former Negro slaves here in America? I mean, and those of you in the conscious community, as the one who commented under that section of that video I made last night as a rebuttal, know this. And most of you in the conscious community, as that individual, I'm sure, continuously pretend like you want separation. But you really ain't trying to make no moves to actually separate from this enemy. So if anything, for somebody not talking about separation, you need to be the ones to stop talking about separation, since you're not going to do it. Because I'm not going to stop talking about it. I don't want this just for me. I'm not selfish like that. I want this for us all as dark-skinned descendants of slaves. We all came in this situation for generations, which started with force, and we all gonna have to make our way forcefully up out of this by our own self-admission, because no one is gonna help us do it. The ones who put us in this bondage is not gonna do it, and if that's what we're waiting for, well, good luck with that. That's all I can say about that part. So, like I said before, since that's what you want to call it in terms of leaving, which I call it separation, I will continue on encouraging my people to do just that. Because as of the looks of it right now, we're headed to a complete, total path of extermination, which this enemy has been planning all along. Like I even told that individual in the comment section when I responded to his comment. So like I said before, we could keep playing with fire all we want to. We saw what happened to the Jews in Nazi Germany, and we saw what happened in history to other civilizations or groups of people throughout human history that refused to escape or did not believe that a worse doom would come for them if they did not remove themselves from their oppressors. But like I said before last night in the video, and I'm going to repeat it again, I've never seen no other group of people like us. Even the so-called Jews eventually came up out of their oppression under Nazi Germany, although they paid a price at the same time. But we still are the most oppressed people ever in the history of human history. Almost 500 years, I don't know of no other people that have been oppressed that long and is in the manner that we have been oppressed. And yet we still want to remain among an enemy that's not going to ever change. So, yes, I will continue on encouraging my people to separate from around this enemy so that we can have some protections. And I want to also bring up something too. Piggyback off something our brother Angel Snup 7 be talking about. What in fact, if we did not have these civil rights laws from the gains of the civil rights movement in the 60s that do kind of to an extent protect us? What if we didn't have them laws? Because they've been working on repealing them laws. For those of you in the conscious community that say the information, that you got the knowledge on what's happening with us as a people. I mean, up until the time of even the Obama presidential administration, and even up to this point, they're still working on repealing those civil rights laws that were voted in, that was supposed to protect us. So let's say if they abolish all them laws altogether, then finally, uh, I think some of you would wake up, hopefully, to realize that the Mississippi campaign ain't such a bad idea to take on, you know? Because even with them laws in place, we still getting gunned down like dogs in the street by the racist police. We still, are being massively incarcerated at all-time discriminatory high numbers as a people in this country. We're still being gerrymandered. We're still being discriminated in housing and also in the job market. Yet why these laws supposed to be protecting us from that? We can't even travel nowhere in the streets while being black. Because somebody might call the police on us just because of our dark skin color. Just for the heck of it. That'll set off more problems. That's unnecessary, you see? And we know this has been happening, especially recently as up to now in this country. So you think that because we're sitting back and ain't nothing massively happening to us on a major scale, well, like I said before, the Jews thought the same thing when people from their group warned them during the time of Nazi Germany, and they didn't believe it. Well, when them Nazis came knocking at their door and hauled them off forcefully to them concentration camps and to the burn chambers, I guess they said they should have listened. And this is the same thing that could happen to us at any given time, right here in this country, at any given right opportunity of time. This country could crash as far as its dollar is concerned. The dollar could crash. And they could decide to implement martial law. Then what you gonna do? Because all that comes along with the package under martial law, whether you know it or not. It's all kind of implications that America may not be the same as we know it at any given right time or opportunity. And we just laying around like it's a game. Like this can't never happen to America, like what happened to Babylon, ancient Rome, and so forth and on. We think this can't happen in America. We saw what happened in the most recent, biggest empire of our time, called the United Kingdom. Now they're in a position of falling flat on their face. Because once that Brexit deal is passed, a kick in, that's going to be the end of the UK, from my understanding. Because other countries like Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland is talking about separating from the United Kingdom. And we know England had the whole world in her hands, in the palm of her hands. And that should be even a sign to America. So, you could keep on thinking all you want to think that this can't happen in America, especially when it concerns us as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America, all you want to. You could keep thinking that. But you're going to be in for a big, unfortunate surprise when it hits you in the face. So, we got to wake up and do something about taking our liberation And they not giving us no reparations. They've already told us that. And for those of the ADOS movement, they straight up told them that directly to their face from the higher ups in the political arena of this country. They told them to their face that the discussion for reparations is not on the table at all and would not be on the table. I mean, you should know by now, they had over 200 years, over 100 years, rather to say, to give us reparations when we were supposedly freed in 1865, and they still haven't gave us the so-called 40 acres and mules that was promised. So what should that tell you? Their intentions was never ever for us to be free. The only reason we even were free from the cotton and sugarcane plantations was because of the Civil War. Because had it not been for the Civil War, we'd still be on the cotton and sugarcane plantations, being forced to pick their crops, like our ancestors were forced to pick their crops. Okay? You know, we did not get out of that form of chattel, which is called chattel slavery, because we fought ourselves to get out of it. It was at the behest of these Caucasians who had this civil war between the so-called Confederacy and the Union of the South and North. That's the only reason we got out of it, out of so-called chattel slavery. I just want to make that point clear. So we really never fought, even to this point in time in our history of this country as a people. We never really truly fought for our liberation solely on our own. And if we truly want to be free, that's what it's going to have to take. You know, so, I mean, like I said before, you know, I'm going to keep on pushing this message of separation. You know, I don't care how much you rebut what I say. I don't care how much you disagree with what I say. My job is to get this message and point out there to our people. And even those who don't want to separate, it's a good thing for them too, because we all, as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America, deserve true freedom, justice, and equality from this hell of almost 500 years that we've been facing constantly every day as a people in this country. I don't care if you Christian, Muslim, Nubian, Hebrew Israelite, a Moor, a Kemetic, a Egyptologist, if you LGBT, you know, or whatever other belief system you come from, if you're an atheist or agnostic, or whatever you claim to be, or whatever walk of life you claim to be, rich or poor, even if you claim to be so-called middle class, it don't make no difference. You know, and what does middle class mean anyway? I don't know, but whatever you claim to be, you know, long as you a dark-skinned descendant of a slave born in this country, you deserve to be free from this madness called racism and enslavement. Okay? Because as of now, you're still a slave, especially according to the clause of the 13th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. You're still a slave. You know, if you was free, you wouldn't even need a passport to leave this country. For many of those of you who always be talking about that going back to Africa stuff, you'll be freely able to go over there without any restrictions or being under any other type of certain conditions. I mean, come on. You're not free. And you don't even have to be incarcerated for that fact to exist in this country, because you're not free. You have no implications of existing in this country as a dark-skinned descendant of a slave born in America that proves you're free. Because like I said, even the so-called civil rights laws that's supposed to be in place to protect us, it still ain't stopping them racists from killing us, lynching us, gerrymandering us, racially profiling us, killing our children in the streets like dogs, and punitively getting away with it every time we look up. So no, you're not free. Just know that you're not free. One thing, the difference between us and our ancestors is that they realized that they wasn't free. While we think we free, So like I said before, we need to cut it out. We need to stop playing these games with ourselves, as well as our future generations to come behind us. And like I said before, if you don't care to hear other people talking about us separating for once and for all from this racist oppression in this nation, then stop talking about separation yourselves, because that mostly comes from those of you who talk that separation thing like you really about separation, but however your actions show that you're not. So if anybody who needs to stop talking about separation or encouraging others to make an escape route from this racist oppression, it ought to be you. Because at least we're pushing the message. You're not doing nothing but trying to be comfortable in this situation. You're not doing a damn thing but being comfortable in this situation. You want to remain comfortable among your oppressors of almost 500 years. And I'm going to repeat this again. Like I said before, I don't know no other people in human history on this earth that have ever lasted this long under another oppressor anywhere in this earth other than the so-called Negro in America. We better off being exterminated than to have to constantly keep suffering like this as a group of people who no one wants or respect. We might as well be wiped out. Especially those of you that rather want to stay here among the enemy forever. You might as well just be wiped out. What kind of existence is that for any human being? To suffer under the type of repression that we've suffered for so long as a people of soul. Whether we call ourselves African Americans, Black, Negroid, and the list goes on, All these titles that the racists gave us. You know, I mean, come on, wake up. Like they say, smell the coffee. You know, we are at the end of the road of our existence, just about. Because, like I said, at the right given time, we could be hauled off to these mass concentration camps and mass graves that they got waiting for us across America. In case you didn't know, as those of you that say you got the information, maybe you might need to research it again. These places exist throughout America, and they're specifically reserved for us, because they've been wanting us out the way. Like I said, we only escaped so-called chattel slavery by default because of the Civil War. Don't forget that. We only got out of slavery by default because of the Civil War. That's why they put them clauses in the 13th Amendment in the first place. So it could maintain our place as being slaves in this country. Go back and look at the 13th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. You know, we are still in slavery. Slavery never ended in the United States. And the 13th Amendment in the U.S. Constitution clearly dictates that fact. You know? So, I mean, if we don't want to do nothing to separate ourselves from all this, then we might as well just be ready to die. You know, the existence of even us having future generations shouldn't even matter. Because all they gonna know is what it is to be a slave, what it is to be a nigger, what it is to be a prison number statistic, what it is to me to be a Negro getting lynched or gunned down by some racist cop or some other racists in this country. You know? and whatever else it means to be a so-called Negro slave in America. Is that what we want for our future generations to come behind us? Instead of us taking control of a state where we could create a protective environment for ourselves and for them from all the rest of this madness going on in America as far as racism is concerned. And to respond to that individual that I mentioned that commented about my other video from last night, you know, as far as racism being the reason for separation, hey, yes, it will always be the reason for separation. You know, that's without question. So I don't even see how that's up for discussion, period. Or even up for a debate, if you want to really know the truth about it. You know, that's not even up for a discussion or a debate. You know, that's always been the number one thing that's defined America. The word alone itself, which is called racism. Okay? That's what America was built upon. So with us separating, you know, hey, that existence itself would no longer be. Once we could take control of a few of these states, you know, well, we will have state national guards behind us. When the enemy decide they want to make a move on us, well, we have other nations behind us in support of us. We just don't know what having a control over a state means. We really don't know. We just don't know because we're scared to try it. Our ancestors tried it, but they were at a disadvantage than we are today because we have more advantage than they have. Okay? And if we came together and united under a common cause to make this happen, we would see how much difference it would make by us taking control of a state. Okay? So, I mean, it's all about either you want to or you don't want to. You want to be free or you don't want to be free. That's what that boils down to. And like I said before, hey, for those of you, who don't want to see this become a new reality, well then just keep remaining a statistic under this racist, oppressive society, or under the footstool of this racist oppressor that we've had to deal with for over 400 years as a people. Keep remaining oppressed as a people. And what comes along with being oppressed as a people, because that's all you're going to get. Because this enemy is not going to change his ways. As simple as that. I don't care how you look at it or how you see it. They not going to change their ways. It's been proven over and over too many times. Like Clarence 13X of the 5%ers used to say, the proof is in the pudding. The writing is all on the wall, So, hey, if you really want to be free, the Mississippi campaign is the best option right now at this point. It's the only best option because everything else we've tried has obviously failed us as a people when it comes to our struggle for true liberation from this oppression of racism in this country. But once we take control of a state, then it will, like I say, leave doors for us. It will open up new doors for us to make a complete exit route out of America. It would open up doors to put us in a better position to make a clear exodus out of America altogether, where we won't be wondering where we're going or who would accept us. You see, by having states behind us, that will put us in a better position for that. Anyway, okay? It'll put us in a better position for countries in Africa, Asia, or wherever else on the planet Earth to be willing to accept us, because we will finally have that respect as a people, which we don't have. It's just not about being individuals and doing it as individuals. This is about us doing it as a group, as a team. That's what it's about. Every other group of people in this world that has ever escaped from their oppressors or separated from their oppressors did it as a group, not as individuals. And the same thing applies to us as dark-skinned descendants of slaves born here in America. We got to move as a group. For all. It's either for all or it's nothing. And it's just that simple. It's either for all of us or we all could just simply die as slaves. It's just the bottom line to that. The writing is written on the wall to show it, you know. So, like I said before, we could keep taking this for a joke all we want to, but the writing is written on the wall. I mean, you know, the Mississippi campaign also has the right, clear ingredients to also address black on black crime too in America. Because long as we remain in this racist cesspool among the enemy, of course, this is going to keep us killing each other as well. Like we see or what's going on in places like Chicago, Detroit, Milwaukee, Atlanta, New Orleans, Oakland, Los Angeles, Gary, Indiana, Little Rock, Arkansas, Newark, New Jersey, Baltimore, Maryland, and the list goes on. You know, I mean, the way we killing each other in Omaha, Nebraska, Kansas City, you know, I mean, the list goes on. We're going to keep on dying at the hands of racists and each other until we finally decide that we want to change our entire existence as a people in this country by taking control of a couple of these states that I mentioned, like Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and the like. You know, that's our only route out of this situation if we really want to do it the right way. Unless we want to take the other next step route, which is the escape route, which I will also keep encouraging my people to do, as I said before, okay? Because there's no other way to our survival but those two options at this point in our time as a people in this country. You know? So, like I said, take your choice, pick your two choices in that manner, or simply die as a slave. And that's just the bottom line to that. You know, the Mississippi campaign is the answer to all those problems. Like I said, as far as black on black crime, drug addiction, you know, alcoholism, which is plaguing us, of course, as a people as well, gerrymandering, mass incarceration, racial profiling, and police brutality, which is also plaguing us as a people, like I've been talking about in this video. The Mississippi campaign is the ultimate answer to all of that, which comes hand in hand directly with separation, like I spoke about in that video last night. You know, so as I said before, I mean, you know, we have no other options other than the two options I just mentioned. Take the escape route or take control of a state. As far as taking the escape route to leave America altogether, that's the next best option if we don't choose to take that route, as far as with the Mississippi campaign of taking control of a state. That's our only two options out of this. Because everything else has failed us, apparently. And as far as looking for those black organizations like the NAACP, the Urban League, and these other so-called black organizations to do our bidding for us to get us up out of this hell, that has failed us miserably, as we can see, as it continues to do. So, I mean, we could keep thinking that's the best route all we want to. But hey, like I said before, the proof is in the pudding to show that it's not the best route. So keep on, being comfortable in your oppressive slave state, far as being the dark-skinned descendant of a slave born in America. And, hey, you know, it's nothing more that I could really say, other than as far as those of you that's rejecting the Mississippi campaign, you know. But see, long as you keep rejecting the Mississippi campaign, that's what you're going to keep getting. It's chaos, along with this oppression that we've been suffering for almost 500 years. How much more longer do you want to keep suffering as a people? Bringing these illegitimate babies in the world just to keep suffering at the hands of racism. Because that's all you're doing, is bringing them into a world of hell that they don't deserve to even be brought in to. For those of you that love to lay up just to have kids anyway, So, like I said before, I'm almost getting tongue-tied anyway. And cause I got other stuff I need to do with the rest of my evening. So, I just needed to, throw that out there to you and put that further out there into the universe as another, wake up call, family. And, hey, take it how you want to take it, run with it how you want to run with it. But for right now, that's all I got. To all you as people of soul who are fellow descendants of dark-skinned slaves born in America. And with that, I'm going to say peace out.